I've been playing golf, God, since my 20s, but I did quit for about 7 years because I was working in corporate America. So I retired in February and decided to get my golf game back. And I put a golf simulator in my garage and then figured out that I probably needed some help to get my game back where it was. I was pretty good 7 years ago. So I listened to a video of Dean on Facebook, I believe. And I said, well, let me check this out. And I've been with him, I think, about a month and a half. And my game has gone from shooting in the high 80s to consistently shooting in the mid 70s already. So I highly recommend him. He does a great job.
That's amazing. Wow. That's a fast turnaround and improvement.
Well, I am retired now, so that helps a little bit. But yes, following what he sends and what we talk about has been an immense help in my game. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Great. So can you tell me more about it? Like what, for some reason, everything just went darker.
I know I didn't do it. There it is.
There we go. You're back. Okay, sweet. Okay, so tell me more about it. So you were introduced to him, and then you reached out to him, and then what happened? Like, what did you learn about how he teaches and all this kind of stuff? Like, how did you start engaging with him? I kind of want to know more about that.
Yeah, so I decided basically on a whim, because he does a free call on your first one, to set up a call with him, and the first call is pretty amazing because he talks to you about your goals, what you want to do. I'm not going to say I'm older, but I am more mature. So some of my goals are pretty lofty based on my age, but he gets you really excited about that. And then says, look, I'm going to take you through these, different steps through your game, and I'm going to make it better. And he really does. And he's very enthusiastic. I love the part of fixing your mind and your physical strength and flexibility. That is such a key that I didn't understand. It's not just the mechanics of the golf game, but it's a total body flexibility stretches, which I hate to do, but I do them and it helps. And then just getting your mind in the right place. And I think that's a couple of really key aspects of what Dean does that helps you along the way. How to think your way around a golf course.
Very cool. And it sounds like you're a little bit surprised by that.
I really am. I thought I needed to really work on my swing, and I did. Don't get me wrong. I love, the power move with your hands. I love how you bring your hips through. I love all of that. But the mental, I don't know why it's going dark again, but I don't know, maybe it'll come back. But the mental part of the game and how to think your way around a golf course, how to have positive thoughts, how to become the best putter you can be. I mean, if I'm not making putts, I'm burning edges now. And I used to never practice putting. But the other really key to that is the flexibility training that he gives. It's pretty amazing how much more flexible I am since I started doing his exercises.
That's amazing. Well, and so what is it like in terms of working with him? So can you describe for me what it's like having him as a coach?
So Dean is very enthusiastic. He does his research well. We have a pretty lofty goal next year. And he's always on every week talking about that goal. And I mean, we get on a call and he's like, what do you want to talk about today? And it's amazing to me that I've shifted more from the mechanics of a golf swing to more of the flexibility and the mindset on playing golf. And he's amazing. He's a total package on when it comes to being out on a golf course and playing.
Really cool. And how often do you play golf? Every day?
No. Well, I might hit balls in my simulator room, but I play about 3 times a week, but I practice probably 6 days a week. And there's a difference between practicing and doing, as he calls, block drills. So block drills to me are very boring, but they are very important to get you in the right mechanics on golf.
I see.
They're boring, but they're really important.
The basics, right? Those basics.
Yes. And I do believe that Dean meditates, but he hadn't got me to do that yet, but I'm getting there.
Gotcha. Well, okay. So you've gone from mid 80s to mid 70s pretty consistently over the last month and a half. So if you don't mind me asking, where are you going to go from here?
So season's almost over. We'll play a lot during the winter when it's not bad, but now it's time to get ready for next year. And I have a very lofty goal of, I say, playing in the Virginia State Amateur, and he always comes back and says winning the Virginia State Amateur, but we'll see. But that doesn't happen until June of next year. So I've got some time to kind of rebuild the swing a little bit. And I don't mean rebuild, but incorporate more of what he talks about now that the season's almost over playing, because you'll go through some rough spots as you're changing habits that you've done for years. So I'm counting on Dean to get me over the finish line on that.
Yep. Gotcha there. That's pretty amazing. Well, best wishes on that goal. And it sounds like his mindset coaching is just the next level in terms of incorporating something that before you hadn't really considered. Yeah,
it really is. I mean, you go out there and you play golf and you think it's all about how the swing pattern is and how to read, and it's not. It's the positive attitude that I can make that 10-footer on a putt, or I can hit within 5 feet of the pin from the fairway. It's a mindset. It's actually knowing that you can do that. The mechanics are there. It's the mindset that does it. And he's really good at that.
Amazing. Well, and so 2 more things. Number 1, if I was considering using Dean as a coach, would you recommend him, and why?
Yeah, I would highly recommend him. Absolutely. He's the first coach. You can go out to a golf course and you can spend 30 minutes a week with your golf pro. Okay, that's not going to do you a whole lot of good, in my opinion. I've done that. Or you can get into Dean's program, and then he sends you all these links. So let's say that my hands aren't in the right spot. I go back and I watch the video again of how to set your hands and that type of thing, or you're not coming through with your hips. You can go back and watch that again. And he breaks it down into very simple terms. So I highly recommend. And I do have to give one plug, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I suspect, I could be totally wrong, that most of his clients are men. I suspect that. But I will say that any woman golfer that wants to get better, I don't care if you're strong, I don't care if you only hit the ball 100 yards, highly recommend Dean. He gets it. He understands how the body is supposed to work. And he said something to me very, very, very good the other day. He said, look, isn't it more fun to play golf when you're playing in the low 70s? And I said, yeah, it's a lot more fun. So I don't think a lot of women think that's going to help them, but it is. Even if you only play weekend golf, to have Dean and you go out there on Saturday and Sunday and you shoot your best round, it just sets you up for the whole weekend to feel better about yourself. And I don't think enough women take advantage of that type of coaching.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's an excellent point. Let me think about this. Do I have any, in terms of, one last question before I open up the floor for you. Can you just comment on some of the different things he does in terms of mechanics, like whether, of course, the mindset and the meditation and all this different stuff, but golf related stuff? What are some of the tools that he uses to support training you?
So, yeah, that is a great question. So he just doesn't try and throw everything at you at once. So the first 10 days I was working with him, I did nothing but putt. That's all we talked about. But it's how he builds on that. We go from putting to finesse wedges to the full swing and the 4 different parts. And he breaks that swing down in individual parts. And then in the end, he puts it all together for you. And as long as I played golf, I'm like, oh, I never knew that. But he breaks it down so well and so easy that it just starts to come natural to you to follow how he doesn't try and do it all at once. You have to put in the time to individually break these things down. And he does it very well in very plain English.
Very cool. Well, and so if you don't mind my asking, how meaningful has this been for your life, coaching with Dean?
Oh boy, I didn't know that question was coming. So as I said, I retired from a pretty large corporate America job in February. And one of the things that all of my friends have asked me is, what the heck are you going to do now? I went from a very all the time, go, go, go to being retired. But I love golf and I like to play good golf. And it gives me a sense of something to work for, goals to work for. I mean, in the business world, you're looking for financial goals or you're looking for this. This gives you a sense of goals. And when you reach those goals, it just makes your whole life feel better. Or if you go out there and you play a good round of golf, I mean, you got to be a golf fanatic to understand what I'm saying. But you play a good round of golf, it sets you up for the whole weekend of feeling good about yourself and good about your game and just good about life in general. I firmly believe that. It does that for me.
Beautiful. So I love how clear you are about your love for golf. It's awesome. Okay, so that's really all I need, but I just wanted to kind of let you communicate whatever you want. If you want to, have you have a message for Dean, or if you want to add anything that you haven't said so far, I'd love to hear.
The only thing I guess I will give a plug for Dean. I mean, I spent the money to do this, and I was a little skeptical in the beginning, but I will say that Dean has made this so easy for me to get on calls with him and have conversations with him on how to play golf. I tell you, I've never met a coach, and I've had a lot, that breaks it down so well and knows what your individual needs are. I'm sure he does a ton of calls a week. But boy, I'll tell you, he knows exactly who's who and what's going on and what your goals are. And to me, that's very personal. And I appreciate that from Dean.